Hi, I'm Andrea and welcome to Productive C#. In this video, I want to introduce you to the Blazor components. Components are the key building blocks for a Blazor application. A component is effectively a way to define a reusable element of user experience inside your browser. All the UI inside a Blazor application is effectively a trees of components that will be rendered by Blazor. This is a very flexible mechanism that allows to even reuse the components between different Blazor applications. You can create a component, it can be reused, you add in a library and you share it as a NuGet package if you want. Or you can create your component inside your WebAssembly application in order to reuse it in different places. What I want to show you in this video is how you can create a very simple basic component so that you understand how they works in Blazor. So let's create an hello world component. I right click on the project. This is a very simple Blazor WebAssembly project. I'm gonna add a Razor component and I give it a name. I call it hello. As you can see, Visual Studio added an hello.razor file in the solution. In fact, all the components end with this extension, .razor, and the content of this file is a markup language that combines C# with HTML. This markup language allows you to define the HTML of your page, but it's powerful because it allows you to use C# in order to generate this markup. As you can see, there is a simple H3 tag, and the code directive here allows you to insert here any C# code you want. We'll do that in a second. So now, how can I use this component? This component is simply showing hello when you are using it. The name of the component, the name of the file, is effectively the name of the component. And in order to use it, you need to use the same name as a tag, as a natural tag inside your page. Let me do that. Let me add the hello tag inside the index page. That's fairly straightforward. So I had the hello tag, as you can see, is colored differently. Visual Studio recognizes that you're actually using a component. And if I run the application, what is going to be rendered is welcome to Productive C# and hello written below as an H3 tag. Blazor at runtime is generating all the HTML by rendering all the components together. As you can see here, hello is being printed. Okay, let me add something to my component, a parameter, so that I can specify a name, for example. So I want to generate hello Andrea, right? So let me create a property here called name. In order to make the property accessible externally, so that you can set it, you use the parameter keyword. Okay, as soon as you do that, you can access this property inside your markup using the C# expression, and you usually start using a het symbol, and then you specify the name of your property, in this case name. So what's happening here is that instead of printing just hello, it will print hello plus the name. And how can I actually specify the name? As you can imagine, you're going to use an attribute to do that. I say name Andrea. The interesting thing is that components are reusable, so I can create many instances of this in a page or in different pages and change the name, and you will get two hello worlds printed on the page. Let's have a look and see. It's printing welcome to Productive C#, and then it's going to say hello Andrea and hello Scott. There we go. So this is how components work in Blazor. At the end of the day, components are simple classes, simple C# classes that define how a piece of UI is rendered at runtime. You can reuse them as many times as you want, and they provide a lot of features that we're going to explore in different videos. Blazor components are effectively the key building block on how the entire UI is built for Blazor application. I have JetBrains.pic here to show you very quickly how a components look like after it's been compiled by Blazor. And there you go, nothing special, it's just a class that implements the component-based class. And it contains effectively the code that you added in the markup, my property name, with some methods that are internal to Blazor that allows you to generate the markup at runtime. The interesting thing is that, as you've seen, index.razor, that is my index page, is also a component. There's something slightly special about this index.razor is because there is a page directory at the top. When you add a page directory at the top, the components become rootable. And this means that you can access the component directly from a URL in the browser. Inside the code, the only difference is that a rootable component contains a root attribute that is specified to the class. That's it. And the parameter here effectively specify what is the relative URL where this component can be visualized. So everything in Blazor is a component. Some components are rootable that you can access through the URL. Some are not, like our hello component. In order to use them, you use an actual HTML tag with the same name of the component in order to add it to your page. And this is it for a quick introduction of components. It's very important to understand how components works because the entire Blazor application frameworks rely on this concept. Thank you very much for listening.